Good morning. Welcome to Satsang. As essence, I am consciousness. I am that which I cannot define because I am it. Whatever is expressed from here, it is objectifying it. It becomes an object, an aspect of it. So just to hear that, it's enough, isn't it? You have not to hear the arguments of the mind. There's no argument here. Of course, more and more it is discovered that there is a background to all this creation, there is a consciousness. And even if it is accepted that it's what we are, it's what I am, but that knowledge is not enough. There is a kind of huge gap, I would say, a huge, it will give a huge feeling of separation if you don't see that it is what I am, but not as a knowledge in the mind. And that's why here, what you heard from your own mind, that there is consciousness, you have not to listen to it to be it. So dare not to be with your mind all the time. Then it's very obvious. And why is it so important to realize that if you search for it? It's because you will be no more dependent on finding a quiet state or a happy or loving state, which depends always on the weather, let it be a mood. The weather of the moods. And circumstances which may not repeat themselves. So you don't depend, and that's a big thing. Anyway, give you something to add. A doubt or an inspiration. Welcome. You wrote
no. You read for me this very powerful sentence from Papaji, last satsang, you are not the body. And I know that you have several times told that do not apply satsang quotes onto the life, but there is still some moments that so I still need to apply it, so I don't have any other chance. There are some terrible moments in the life where it is the only what can help, and I wish to hear a little bit more about this sentence.
Yeah. You know, when I say it's not to be applied to the life, I mean it's not to be applied to circumstances to get another kind of state in the circumstances, which can be good too, but it's not the point. Okay, now, you know, if you are a seeker of what is the essence, what is being, it's a life dedication. It's a life dedication. You cannot help. So when you say, yeah, sometimes you suffer so much because of some circumstances, because it's generally when one suffers that it comes more, then of course you remind yourself, but what suffers? Who am I? I speak about what? And then you see through your investigation of before that you speak about the person again. And then at some point you even stop the investigation to keep quiet in yourself eventually. I mean, I don't know. I just have an image now like that. So it is all the time applied in the life, but not to obtain something in the life. Even though surely you will suffer, I would not say less, but it takes its place. It's relative. It becomes okay. It concerns a person. It concerns the world of appearance. It's duality. It's called samsara. Yeah. Is it clearer or? When I say maybe I will not say that anymore. But when I said it's not to be applied to the life, it's because I saw too much that it was like massive argument to protect or to impose some pride in this life. So in that way not, but what to say? Life becomes a teaching, isn't it? In a natural way. And there are many ways here, and the teachings of the directions of satsang is rather than to learn more, to have more knowledge, it's rather to remove the power of the mind, who is a swallower of knowledge, That's it, huh? What to say? It's very complex what you ask. You have to try to see what is really meant. Because I come back to this story when Ramana said to Papaji, go back and save your family. He could have said, but I'm not. That's what he said also in the beginning. I'm not the body. Why should I go? The essential is to be at your feet, etc. But Ramana showed him also that as a person, you can also take responsibilities, and you have your actions, you have a life to live. And the argument to say, I'm not the body, which will stop the whole thing, will make you probably then a yogi. Nothing wrong with that too, but it is not a must. This is just about the life. So I think he removed by showing that, Ramana removed the belief that there is a certain way of living which is more real than another. Not to become a justification of anything. It's just
the only what left, it's not good also to say, but to remove the gap between knowing that I am not the body, and that's my, I can repeat it hundreds of times, even, and yes, you're right, the life really teaches me. There are some moments where I don't have any other chance than to really realize it, what you said.
It's about the essence, huh? It's about what I am. And what I am is all the time expressing itself. I don't know, once you know that, where are the questions? Is it clear to you that there must be something like consciousness, impersonal consciousness?
I tell you honestly, I never understand this word consciousness. So
okay, okay. I'm not fanatic about that.
No,
too, but
because everybody uses this word in several
okay,
different.
then
Yeah.
okay. I ask you differently. Is it clear for you that you are something else than a body and a mind? In essence.
Yes.
Okay. Yes. Okay. And that's not enough. Is it not enough to know that? You want that it expresses it in a certain way in this life. That may be the problem.
Maybe I wish that I do not forget yes.
You will forget.
I will forget.
Even when you sleep, you forget.
Okay.
Everybody forgets.
And what to do when I forget it?
You forget.
And then and then, okay.
When I forget, I forget. Okay. When I don't forget, I don't forget. And when I don't forget, I don't forget. Life is like this, no? Yeah. Knowing very well that all this is because the mind cannot translate differently, but actually it's not about going and coming somewhere. I am it. So the forgetfulness or the remembrance has not much meaning. I mean, it's the way it appears. Because once you know, or you realize, even when you forget and then that passes, because it's just a mood, a state, a wave, it doesn't make you search anymore. Because it has been seen, it is a play of, it's a play, it's an appearance.
And do I have the capacity or the ability to remind my beloved ones also onto that? Or is it not my business?
To tell your beloved ones to know themselves?
In that terrible...
You can tell them that it exists, this kind of life. But don't insist. Don't preach. That's what I did with the young kids. I wanted not to preach them, sure, I know the consequence of this kind of thing, but that it exists. Something like that is also a subject in life. Yeah. And it works. Yeah. Okay. I mean, when I say it works, at least they know it, they are not surprised of what do they say. They are cuckoo, those people who speak like that. It's just a natural subject for them. So they do whatever they like with that, but it's natural in that way.
And what did you do with the pain and fear? Because, okay. It does stay.
Definitively, this surge and this those indications towards the essence is, it is not, it cannot necessarily solve what is the life, the problems of the life. it's a total mystery, you see. It's dual. It's dual. It has no substance. Its substance is that itself, but because it shows up, it can show up only because it's dual. Who has a solution for that? Which kind of solution? So that surge cannot be distracted by trying to find solution in this world. It's to find, is there a background or not? What provokes that? What is there a meaning, and all those questions? And the answer will not be because you found a solution in this world. And having found that, it doesn't make me search more. Maybe some people search more, I have no idea. But for me it is enough. Enough to know the background, enough to be completely blown away by the mystery of what's going on, not knowing, not knowing, I don't even know, I have no question anymore about that. Even though, yes, there is black and white, there is pleasure and pain, there is suffering and not, and what to do? You can't escape as a person. But you can liberate yourself to believe there is only that. I am only a body, mind, and a person. The peace will be from there, not from a solution in this world.
I found your words in the beginning very inspiring, and it came to me this. There's a verse from Vidyarana Swami. He lived some centuries back, and in one of his texts he says, Nodeti nastametyesha navraddhim yate nakshayam swayam vibhatyata jnani bhasayet sadhanam vina. That nodeti doesn't rise, doesn't set, doesn't grow, doesn't diminish. It shines on its own. And it doesn't need any help to shine. And I found it so true. You said doesn't need the help. Once you're here, you don't need the help of the mind.
No. Yeah. That's why they call it liberation, no? Liberated from depending on something. Yeah. The thing is, surely it's, let's say, the best description, knowing that description don't make it, but still, the thing is that when one still searches, even hearing this, he has in mind that in the mind it will be shown up this way. And there, of course, well, then he has to start to investigate. It shows up in the life when one is not in his mind. It will show up this way, but if one is in his mind, means he will see, conceive, feel, sense things that the mind is capable of. That's all. And so it will speak of aspects, not... Yeah. He was a Swami then?
Yes.
Of which century?
He was, I think he was Sringeri Mat from Shankaracharya.
Sure.
There's one Purusha Suktam, and in the beginning, first or second mantra, he says, Purushayeva idagam sarvam yadbhutam yachabhavyam. All this is that. The past was that, present is that, and whatever will be is that also. Just to cover that.
Oh. Yeah. So after that you cannot ask a question. So how come it's so important if it doesn't... no, I say something else. If it is not giving any solution, let's say, for the past and so on, how come is it important to realize oneself? It's because, first of all, if it comes to you, of course, that surge. And if it comes to you, it's because it removes... It's not that it gives a solution, but it removes the anxiety, the fear, the anxiety, the ontological question about life. It removes the question of meaning of life and all those things. And that's a blessing. It's a blessing. Ay, ay, ay.
It's in the Bhagavad Gita, it's very meaningful because Arjuna is there not knowing what to do.
Yeah.
Do I fight? I don't fight.
Yeah.
I go to the Himalayas and I drop all this.
Yeah.
And first thing Krishna says, he doesn't talk about how to live. He doesn't talk about how to solve that particular issue, because in the end he will say, just do what you came here to do.
Yeah.
But he says, Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Ashochanan Vashochastvam Prajnavadanscha Bhasase Gata Sunagata Sunscha Nanushochanti Panditaha. He says, even though you say very beautiful words about the life, you suffer for what doesn't deserve to be suffered. Then he says something very meaningful. He says, the wise men, they don't suffer for what has those who have gone and those who are born. And when he says that, some people, they take it as they don't suffer in life, which is of course not true, because when we will see that even Krishna will suffer for his relatives that have passed and will pass. So he's not talking, when he says they don't suffer, he's not talking about what happens in the life. He's talking about what doesn't deserve to be.
Yeah.
What we are.
Yeah. Yeah.
There, suffering doesn't arise. So he's talking about that. And that's how he starts.
Yeah, beautiful, yeah. But then you need a commentator, huh? But it's beautiful, yeah.
Yeah, without master.
So he says that. Amazing.
He's indeed showing that you cannot suffer for what you are.
Yeah. Yeah. Better to get it quickly, huh? Especially.
It took Arjuna 17 chapters, and after the war he asked again, can you please repeat?
But that's what we do. I'm happy you said that. Okay. Yeah. It may take time because there is a kind of, I don't know, natural fascination with whatever the mind says. One cannot imagine there is something else. Well, they say, yeah, the unknown, but they still believe the unknown of the mind and so on. That is the big blow, no? When one suddenly can give space to what is always here without the mind. Otherwise, we think we cannot do otherwise. We cannot make it otherwise. It's hypnotism. It's rare to have a text. You know, you will not believe, but I really, the text I know less, I think, is the Bhagavad Gita. I only heard a few things here and there. I never studied. But actually, when I hear like that, it's rare to have a text which gives a situation in urgency, because he had to fight or not, but it was urgent to have the solution, something. So it also shows the urgency. You need to have an urgency, to have a panic if I have to find something, to understand, to realize. It's a rare text, no? I don't think there are so many texts like that.
And it's also very interesting because in the beginning, Arjuna, he talks, he says, this is, I don't know how to do, this is not proper, this and that.
Reka?
And
Listen.
and Krishna, he stays quiet, he just listens to him. At some point he says, well, it's enough. But he still doesn't teach. But that's at a certain moment, he himself, Arjuna, he says, I'm lost, and I don't know what to do.
Yes.
Shishasteham shadimam tvam prapanam. I deliver myself to you. Please tell me what is Shreyas, what is moksha. He understands it's not by doing or not doing. So then
Very
it starts.
nice, interesting, yeah.
Hello, Ganga. It's kind of more of an observation. Like life happens to us. I breathe, my heart beats, I digest my food. It all happens without. It just happens, and you say it is our birthright to know who we are, who we really are, and that will happen to all of us at some time. But life will happen at the right time. I don't know how else to say it. So it was just an observation. But if you have anything to say about it or not.
What can I add? I mean, difficult to make me speak today. I don't know. What can I say more? You know, it was important for me to hear from Papaji, it's your birthright, because then you take the right. Okay, I can take care of that, even if all around me is not busy with that or doesn't find it important. If it is important for me, I go for it. I can go for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because while going for it, then you will meet what you need to meet, you see? And that's how you start to suddenly or find a book with a sentence which speaks to you, or you read more, or this, or someone who tells you something about that. So it is the right you give to yourself which provokes that.
I read something recently from Muktananda saying you're imprisoned by your virtues as well as your vices. I thought that was really good because I thought, yeah, I've fallen for that one.
That's why he fell on the opposite, maybe. It's not a very essential indication. There is an argument in the world surely telling, oh, you take care of only of you, what about the others and all that. That's why it's also good to hear it's your birthright. Yeah. We hear what we need to hear.
Thank you.
Things make sense, you see, sentences or whatever. It makes sense to you when it fits something in you. Otherwise somebody else will say, then what, you say that, but then what? It doesn't. So we cannot impose that search, surely not. We cannot impose that. It's interesting to see how for those who search something else than what they know, some answers would satisfy someone, while the same answer would make the other one still search. For example, I remember I was not religious, so I could not, even though I had no other answer, but I could not tell I was a daughter of God, like son of God. I said, but I don't believe, so why should I say so? Because Papaji asked me one, who are you, and tomorrow you have to know the answer. So I started to really to flip, you say, to flip completely. I say, okay, I have to tell her, I cannot say that, I don't believe really in God, I am not religious. So, I found, I am a dust of a star, and which is a wonderful answer. And but then I had so many other questions around that, and I cannot decently say those things. So, and for some people, for example, I can name him, why not? He's no more alive, but he was an absolutely wonderful astrophysicist. It was him, Hubert Reeves, who said that we are all dust of a star, to give some more expansion to what we think we are, and which is true too, physically. But then that satisfied him. But for example, I could not. So you see, it's such a independent. You cannot know where something will stop you. Huh? And if you are stopped by something, if you start to say this is the truth, you impose that to the beloved ones or whatever, the good news to the world, to save the world. It doesn't work. It doesn't work. So the next day, imagine my state of mind. When I saw Papaji coming, I said, oh my God, I have no answer. So I said, I don't know. And then I thought he would throw me away, of course. But in the contrary, he laughed, and then I could stay, and I never asked why. Yeah. Okay. Something else? Thank you.